trillions of dollars coming out of the black community every year and year in and year out, you can economically starve their asses anyway. We can economically starve these motherfuckers. And shout out to Toya Lockett up in this motherfucker. Shout out to Sam and Shadonna Lopez up in this mug. My high school classmates. But we need to run some of these goddamn police officers out these damn neighborhoods because they ain't doing a goddamn thing anyway. What the fuck they doing? And if the politicians have a problem with, get your ass up out of office. You know, if you in Chicago, vote their asses up out of there. You can easily do it. If you're in the South Side, Springfield, Illinois, even though I don't think it's that many black people up in Springfield, Illinois, get they bunk asses up out. Get your city council member who bucking their eyes up out the goddamn district. And I'm glad some of my Memphis people came up in this motherfucker because all the shit that's going on in Memphis, and we need to have a whole reset button for Memphis. And you know, I'm not gonna say the typical what about black on black crime bullshit, but there needs to be a whole reset button for Memphis. All those goddamn 10,000 cameras up in Memphis, and you got motherfuckers that's doing dumbass shit out there. Memphis need a whole goddamn reset button with the police department out there. I need a whole goddamn reset button. And yeah, and I understand this has been tried before, but we need to, the execution of it, that needs to be done, that needs to be restructured properly with the execution of it. Yeah, we need to be able to police ourselves. We should be able to police ourselves point blank and period. And like I say, we're stronger in numbers. We got to use our numbers to our advantage. Otherwise, us talking to these people talking about, stop police. Yeah. The shit is global. I understand that. Yeah, they can change the laws too. But it doesn't hurt to try either. That's another thing. And like I say, if your congressman ain't doing their job on a state level, on a federal level, get their ass up out of office. They can change the laws, but we're gonna have to. That's where we need to show what type of muscle we have. Because again, what exactly is these police officers is fucking doing? I understand they can change the laws at any given time. I understand that clearly because it's a white supremacy is a global phenom. However, it doesn't hurt to try because a lot of these cities have not tried that. And again, we're very powerful in numbers. If we get on code, fight the battle on all fronts. I'm not in disagreement with anything because white supremacy is just not a battlefield battle. It's a economic battle. You know, look at all this gentrification that's going on. That shows you right there. Yeah, we're going to have to fight this on all fronts. And like I say, we still should ask for reparations. Even though this particular topic was not about reparations, I am for reparations. That's definitely what it is. But we do need our own policing. It's time to get these motherfuckers up out of there, and we got to do it by force. Fuck it. Fuck it. Get your ass out of our damn neighborhoods. If the minute I step out my house, I got to look over my shoulder, or whether or not I'm going to be killed. It's time to get y'all bitch asses about the neighborhood. What exactly are you doing other than trying to find your next victim? What exactly is these goddamn police officers are doing? I agree. Fight it on all battles, from an economic standpoint, on all standpoints. I'm willing to fight that battle. At least as long as I'm here in the United States, anyway. But definitely we need to look into trying that, and we need to get lawyers involved. We need to get local politicians involved, local lawyers involved. We need to get people on all fronts. Yeah, most definitely. You on point, man. You, like I say, I've been knowing you for years, man. So you on point. I'm not even in disagreement with anything you're saying. I feel you, but you definitely got to fight it on all fronts. But I definitely think we need to start removing some politicians, because if we start, because people are just telling us to vote willy-nilly just for the hell of voting. I don't believe in voting for the hell of voting. That's another thing. That's one of the reasons why I'm not a fan of federal elections. You know what I'm saying? Or at least the presidency. I'll say that. I'm not a fan of that in particular, because a lot of those guys don't have our agenda. Whereas on a local level, in certain jurisdictions, you can remove those motherfuckers from office and get the people you want, especially if they're fulfilling your agenda. You can remove a lot of these motherfuckers. So that's the great thing about the great thing about local and statewide elections, is you can remove people. You know, whereas on a federal level, you just, unless you get the Congress to force them out on a resignation like they tried to do Donald Trump, that's a little different. But I think we need our own police department. And yes, it's going to be an uphill battle. Don't get it twisted. But we need to fight that goddamn battle. If we got sense enough to fight for civil rights, if we got sense enough to fight for, for other issues, fight for George Floyd, we can fight to remove these motherfuckers who ain't doing their goddamn job out of office and off their position. Yeah, I agree. But federal presidency is selected, not elected. Exactly. 3/5 compromise, which is the reason why you have your electoral college votes. That's what it's based off of. But we need to, just because it didn't work in certain cities, don't mean it can't work in other cities. And we can fight tooth and nail with the police unions too. Fuck the police unions. The police unions ain't doing a bitch ass thing any goddamn way. Only thing they doing is protecting the Daniel Pantaleos and they're protecting the killers of Eric. They protecting the killers of Eric Gardner and other different people. It's so many damn people that got killed by these damn race soldiers. I can't even name all the people that got, protecting the Trayvon Martin killer. They protecting all these motherfuckers. So what the fuck is you here for? Get y'all that bitch asses up out of here. Get y'all bitch asses up out of here. Y'all got all this tanks and stanks and skanks, and goddamn it, you ain't doing a bitch ass thing about crime. The average major city over 1 million people got 200 murders. The average city over 200, what the fuck? And it's in the same 6 goddamn neighborhoods. What the fuck is you doing here? Chicago. What the fuck is you doing here, Milwaukee? What the fuck is y'all officers here? So this need to be corrected. We need corrective action taken. We need to fight this on all fronts. We need to, I agree with what you say. We need to fight this on all fronts. But that's one of the main things we need. Had Tulsa, Oklahoma had their own protection, had a gun store. Like the brother Jason Black has said, I don't think as many people would have gotten killed as they did. They bombed Tulsa, Oklahoma from the air. But if they had shot them on sight, it wouldn't have been as many victims as they were. I'm just pointing that out. It's time to get these people about the pain. I'm already talking about Chicago in particular. And Chicago's politicians need to be called out. I've already talked about them several times, but they need to be called out. It's too much corruption going on within city politics and within the Chicago Police Department. I'm generalizing different cities. This needs to be called out. Because there's so many ways I can break down Chicago. It's ridiculous. And then, well, only thing Chicago PD is going to do with all those damn murders that didn't happen, they're going to blame it on some type of gangbanger. Economic and protection needs to go hand in hand. And that's what I'm saying. We probably, on the Neely Fuller's 5 floors, what we need to do is we probably need to go straight into protection mode. And we need the people to monitor and view the police officers in that community. If the police officers do a good job, we fund them. We give them an extra $10,000, $20,000. If y'all niggas want to get that motherfucker extra $100,000 for doing a good job policing, for doing his job, I think that'll go a long way, because the average police officer right now makes anywhere from $35,000 to $45,000 a year. Atlanta, Georgia, I think is $39,000 to $60,000 a year. Yeah, I agree, Craig. And I think Lori Lightfoot needs to put her foot on those motherfucking bitch ass police officers' throat. But I still think they still need some type of. I agree, but I do think a bonus, if we can properly structure a community police department, I think a $10,000 bonus, a $20,000, however y'all want to pay this motherfuckers, will go a long way, and it can be done different ways. The Chinese can have their own police department. Hell, they do that out here in Houston. We have like 3 or 4 different Chinatowns out here. The one I'm closest to, which I can literally walk, even though it's hot as hell right now, I could literally walk from Chinatown to currently where I stay. I'm gonna add you on another stream, because we're gonna redo it, because I have to. I know you want to be on, but I need to vent, really vent. We'll do another stream. But with 45,000 a year, with 45,000 a year, with 45,000, the question is, but that's the thing though. You're saying police officers need to make that kind of money, but what exactly is these bunk ass motherfuckers is doing? They don't need to make. Yeah, that's cool. That's fine. But if we can't reward motherfuckers that kind of money, we can't reward those motherfuckers that kind of money, and they're not doing their fucking job. The average police officer in the United States of America, only thing that they're good for is terrorizing black people. Let's just keep this 1,010. But for sure. Appreciate it, man, Samusha. Glad you came. But I don't think no motherfucker should be making that kind of money if those motherfuckers ain't doing their goddamn job. Because the only job they're doing is terrorizing black people. Terrorizing people of black descent. Those motherfuckers shouldn't make that kind of goddamn money. Let's keep this 1,010. That's why we need to restructure the entire police department. If you're going to get that kind of money, you earn it. Chicago, well, there's a lot of fires that be going on. I get it. But like I said, that's why I'm talking about community police department. But yeah, Chicago Fire Department, they do a great job. I'll say that out of everybody. But if they gonna get that kind of money, you need to earn that shit. And a lot of them don't earn their fucking salary. Let's just keep it 1,010. Their job is to terrorize people. And that's why I'm having this conversation right now about it's time for us, fight it on all fronts, from a legal level, from an economic standpoint. We need to get these motherfuckers about this neighborhood, about our neighborhoods. rebuild our neighborhoods, economically finance our neighborhoods, and get those motherfuckers up out of there. That's my thing. Your question, Stanley, is all the money that they get from the drug bust, where does it go? To the goddamn police department. That's the answer to your damn question. A lot of those motherfuckers take that money and pocket that shit. You think those motherfuckers taking that drug money and burning it like they legally should do? Fuck no. They ain't doing that shit. And a lot of them is taking a lot of that drug money. Yeah, I mean, police, I think out of everybody that does their job in government, the people that do their job is firefighters, because that's a motherfucker, you fighting fires, Now, some of them will work 3 to 4 days a week, 5 days at tops, because I know a firefighter personally. But I ain't mad at them. Keep making that money. It's not even a year long, and there's no way they deserve. Exactly. They don't deserve that kind of money because a lot of them job is to terrorize other people. I think the only way you deserve that kind of money is the community, our community, gives you that kind of money. If we give you that kind of money, you deserve it. If you did a good job in our community to police our community and stop crime in our community, I think you earn it then. But if you don't do shit, and that's the reason why I'm making this proposition, because that's what we need to consider. I think if you do a good job, you'll get that kind of money. Trust me. But if you do a shitty ass job, get your ass up out this neighborhood and find you another job. And I'm just saying 20,000 as a depending on what kind of bonus you want to give them as a community. But we need people that want to be in the community and want to do the job as a police officer in the community. Who truly want to fight crime, because we need our own. It's proven, but out of the places that it hasn't worked, the parts of Africa, I know we're not talking about the United States, but the parts of Africa that does not have any kind of crime, they have that type of community policing, and it's worked. Money can be power if you're getting it on your own. I agree with that. Money can be power if you're getting it on your own. If you're not, pretty much you're just a slave to it. But I agree with Michael Moultrie, and I agree with the other people. I don't think they deserve that shit if they're not going to do their job. If they do their job, yeah. We'll give them whatever bonus. Yeah, that's what needs to be done. It might have failed in one city. It might have failed in Newark. It might have failed in Philadelphia. And I don't see how it failed in Newark, as much problems Newark has. The community should have got in on that. The drug bust. Yeah, a lot of those motherfuckers is pocketing that shit. A lot of those motherfuckers pocketing that shit. But I think if we can do this as a collective, do it enough, and like I say, this is not going to be an easy fight. If we can do this as a collective, I think we can get it done. And yeah, some places where it was tried and failed. Don't get it twisted, but there's places in Africa that has zero crime rate. You got places in Africa that don't have crime rates. And Hidden Colors, I think Hidden Colors 3 or 4 went into that. And one of the reasons why the policing is so effective in those parts of Africa. So I'm talking about these parts of Africa that doesn't have any crime. They have community policing. That's why they don't have crime, because they have community policing, and the economics is not separated by a wide margin. You know what I'm saying? So that's one of the reasons why it can work. But we got to be willing to run some people up out the neighborhood too. And if we're not willing to do that, then we're just fighting a losing battle. Because what the fuck they gonna do? What the fuck these motherfuckers doing now? Our taxpayer dollars going for shits. And then you want to talk, and then these goddamn stupid ass police chiefs want to talk about respect the police, and this New York City police chief talking about stop treating us like animals. Motherfucker, you treat other groups of black people like fucking animals. So, I just wanted to bring this live stream out, man, and I'm going to post this on my YouTube page as well, so the message can get out there, because we need to reevaluate these issues. We need to reevaluate the issue, and the issue is policing. And I'm tired of fighting tooth and nail to stop a motherfucker who's supposed to enforce the law to who gonna bend the law. How you gonna call yourself law enforcement and you find a way to bend the law just to kill me? You're not enforcing the law. You're enforcing white supremacy on me, and that's not cool. That happens all the time. The mafia was known for doing it. Shit still happens. And I'm not saying it's going to stop happening if we do this, but if the community gets involved and properly does it, that's why I'm saying it needs to be properly done. It needs to be properly done. And it can be done multiple ways. It could be done one of three ways. It could be done one of three ways. He said I would pocket the money too. We're gonna pocket the money too. But who is the real boss? Hell, the police unions is the real boss of these goddamn police officers. And like I said, we got to be ready to fight these police unions as well. That's another thing we got to also do in closing of this particular live stream, because I'm going to get off here. We got to be ready to fight the police. Great question. Yeah, hell of a question. We got to be ready to fight these police unions in the process. What's going on, Corey Wolf? We got to be ready to fight these damn police unions. But we're going to have to start, but the start needs to come with local politicians and statewide politicians. And we got to be ready, if you're in a state where you're able to remove your politicians, your local politicians, for not doing a bunk-ass job, get their asses up out of that city council seat, get their asses up out of the state senate, get their asses up out of the state representative office. It can be done. But we need to be able to police ourselves. Because the only thing we're going to be doing is going back in circles. And I'm tired of going back in circles with white supremacy. Either we're going to have a system of justice, or in the words of Jason Black, we're going to be equally uncomfortable in this goddamn country. And for all I care, this country can crash and burn in the Pacific Ocean for all I give a fuck. But I don't want to have to look over my shoulder. I want to be able to have some goddamn kids. I want to be able to raise my kids without having to worry about whether or not some dumbass police officer who didn't want to do their funky ass job, gonna shoot their asses. I don't want to have to worry about my nieces and nephews. I don't want to have to worry about family members and friends that I'm close to. I don't want to have to worry about that. I don't want to have to worry about that at all. What I want to worry about is, can I put some food on the table? Can I keep money on the table? Those are things I want to worry about. I don't want to have to worry about people that I'm putting taxpayer dollars money in their pocket from my taxpayer dollars. I don't want to have to worry about whether or not these motherfuckers is finna kill me. I shouldn't have to worry about that. And if I have to worry about that, just do your fucking job as a police officer. And we wouldn't have to come to this conversation. But unfortunately, we have to come to this conversation. And unfortunately, it's time to start removing some people about they political positions. If we're going to talk about politics, let's talk about politics in this particular realm. Like I say, and like Brother Mansa Musa said before he left the live stream, politics starts on the local level and spreads abroad, spreads to the federal level, spreads to the state level, to the federal level. We need to be ready to get these dudes up out of here. Get their ass up out of office. You don't need this position. You don't need this city council position. You don't need this state senate position. You don't need this mayoral position. So it's time to think about things like that, black people. You know what I'm saying? It's time to clean up our neighborhoods, and I'll get on another live stream about that. It's time to clean up our neighborhoods, and it's time to clean these neighborhoods up of police, you know, of race soldiers and people who call themselves police officers. So once again, this your boy, live and direct and absolute full effect out the 832. Y'all already know how I do.